or a high that exceeds the mental consciousness, the mental mind of the person.
And I love this comment. They said they are like jet fuel for the consciousness. And yeah, I guess it's an easy way where you don't got to meditate as much, and you could expand your consciousness with the one, or whatever you call it.
And back in the 60s, I remember Timothy Leary and all the LSD and all that. They did a lot of good work with that. It just got to be something that became just something that people got high with and wanted to just party with. But there was a lot of original work with the purer substances that they used to break through the consciousness of the mental mind and see what was beyond the mental mind. And there are still some professors and doctors and whatever that are studying this that are still using it. Unfortunately, right now you can't get any of that. That's pure. It's all chemical based.
I think a safer, smarter way is to use the cannabis plant, which is a natural plant, and what the Jamaicans or the Rastas believe, Rastafarians, is it unlocks key elements of the mind, or as what we call it, consciousness. And I have to agree with that 100%. It does help put your mind in a higher level that you would have to attain through meditating or something like that. So it's kind of like rocket fuel, as you say, for the consciousness as well. And it's safe. And yeah, it's safe, and there's a lot of healing qualities, properties to it as well. But we're not going to find out about that because that is not legal. In our country, and so most of the people are not going to get any pure, good cannabis. I think it's legal in California. They have these little shops and things like that, but they're really trying to crack down on that. It's still illegal with the federal law, but on a state level, medical marijuana is legal. But the Fed could override the state law at any time, and you could go to jail. So it seems like a setup. Well, it is a setup because you get back to the pharmaceutical companies and the doctors and the drug companies. If you could just grow this in your own backyard and feel better about yourself, why would you buy their high-priced prescriptions that really are giving you more side effects and things like that? So that's a whole other thing. But yes, check out, I guess, Jordan Maxwell does a lot of work on the Vatican and the origination of how they did high masses and how they're connected with all of the NASA and the satellites and things like that. Cool, and some of that is on the site, and if anyone wants to learn more about the cannabis and the suppression of the plant, they can just go to esotericcosmos.com/cannabis.html. Got all the information up on there, all sorts of cool stuff. Interesting seeing those satellites up there with the American flag, and that was in the 70s. We didn't have any space stations or satellites, as far as we know. So those were interesting photographs that I hadn't seen even in the books. I must have missed them. Something went over my head, but in this video they show them loud and clear. Loud and clear. And about the space-time kind of thing, that's awfully tricky too, because it's a technology that they don't share, the ETs, with many people, because if you're just a second off, you could be either into the future, way into the future, or way into the past. Again, I couldn't see what those prehistoric animals look like with my eyesight, looking through video through a page. But I tend to believe Billy Meier. I mean, he was a very humble man, lived a very humble life. This started when he was like 5 or 7 years old. He has a 3rd grade education, yet he was able to write all these books. Knows all about this, what do you call it, the different planets and space travel and the message, the spiritual message of the Pleiadians. So he seems to be authentic. When you see the pictures are authentic. I think what gave him a little bit of discrediting, and the man mentions it in this film, this video, is his group became powerful, and
like anything else, the human condition, it's about money, power, and control, and they wanted to keep this information to themselves so they could charge people, and I think that's when a lot of misinformation got out, and it was discrediting him.
And think about the government situation. I think he was living in Switzerland at the time, but he got shot at in the chest. Luckily, he had a vision, I think it was 3 nights before, where he was getting shot in the chest. So he put like some sort of bulletproof plate there, which saved his life. Another thing, they try to kidnap one of his children. They try to do all sorts of stuff to this man. I already could understand why, because they don't want people to know this information, and he wouldn't turn nobody down. He would share this with anybody, you know, willing to come up and learn. He felt that was his purpose, so he continued to do so.
Right, so they tried to debunk him in many different ways, and when they couldn't, they just tried to kill him or, you know, threaten him. And, you know, lots of times, you know, you yourself might give up your life because you believe in something, but when it starts going to your children and your family, you really, all of us have to think, you know, is this something we want them to suffer the consequences for? You know, there's a lot of really crazy people out there, and even though they may have degrees and they may have legal weapons, doesn't mean that they're sane, doesn't mean that they're working for the good of humanity. It just means that they're good at taking orders, and they don't mind killing anybody or doing what it is that they have to do to execute the purpose for whoever it is that sent them out there. I think with Billy Meiers being in such a remote area, living such a simple life, and the people that did witness with him, they were average people. I think, you know, there was a CPA, there was a teacher.
Plenty of witnesses.
Yeah, other scientists. There was plenty of witnesses. It wasn't just a group of people that lived in the hills over there. These were credible people, down-to-earth people that really had nothing to gain by this. They just got involved because of Billy Meier knowing so much information and actually seeing the sightings. They actually, you know, not only watching the film of the sightings and the pictures, but they actually witnessed the sightings themselves.
And you're talking about a man that has had over 100 experiences of going into the ship and, you know, getting to see the future, getting to see history, dinosaurs, getting to see different planets, getting to learn the mysteries of life. Powerful.
And what he was talking, you know, someone with a 3rd grade education living in the middle of the woods there in Switzerland, he's talking concepts of spirituality that are very, very advanced. He wouldn't have gotten them from, they give a little background about his family. They were just the average, you know, hardworking farmers in Switzerland. So, and don't forget, back then,